Well, it's a pleasure to be here tonight and talk to you about the nature of oaks. Really talking about the life that is associated with oaks. Now, remember, I'm from Pennsylvania, so my examples are mostly from Pennsylvania. I use California examples when I got the chance. But most of what's happening in Pennsylvania is happening here as well. So the idea is to give you an idea of what you might see on your oaks. So my story starts in July 2000. That's when my wife and I moved into our new home in Oxford, Pennsylvania. It was part of a farm that was broken up. Had been farmed for almost 300 years. And the last thing they did was mow it for hay. So there were very, very few plants there, almost no biodiversity at all. And our goal was to restore the life on this little plot of land. Well, in order to do that, you need to put plants back. We moved in July, but in September, there was a pair of oak trees down the road about a mile and a half that we had a little running route. We used to pass them, and they started dropping acorns. They're white oaks. So we got some of those acorns and planted them as step one in regenerating the biodiversity at home. So the white oak group germinates in the fall, and that's what they look like. They'll put out a radical. It's a little root, goes straight down. They don't put up any green mass until the following spring. And that's what that looks like in the following spring, a couple of leaves, and then they just sit there. And this is one of the reasons that people, they've associated slow growth with oaks, particularly in the white oak group. They say, well, they're just sitting there and they're not doing much. They actually are doing a lot. They're building a huge root system. In their first year, oaks grow 10 times more root biomass than leaf biomass. And it's a really important part of their life history because those roots are going to carry them through a very long life if they're allowed to build them. And we'll talk more about that later. So that's what our house looked like after the first year of that oak growing. I've got a little deer cage around it because where we come from, there's a lot of deer, and they love those oaks. So we're going to follow that oak. 18 years later, that's what it looked like. It's 45 feet tall, 47-inch circumference, canopy spread of 30 feet. Still a baby, but it's a real landscape tree. Now, oaks are the lifeline for an awful lot of species. There are dozens of species of birds that depend on oaks. Lots of mammals, rodents and bears and raccoons. A few reptiles, not too many reptiles, fence lizards and a few things like that. Hundreds of species of moths, though, are associated with oaks. And then the parasitoids and predators that depend on those moths. We've got centipede gall wasps, we've got a lot of beetles, June beetles, longhorn beetles, metallic woodbourne beetles, weevils, spiders. I don't talk a lot about spiders because I found that people don't like them very much.